highlighted the Microsoft Edge build. While the personal assistant is always available via the taskbar, it will pop up along the top of the browser on pages that it thinks it can help you with, like websites for businesses or restaurants. In other words, it won't show its little circle self on every website you visit. Microsoft discovered during testing that people didn't really want a virtual personal assistant peering into all their web browsing. Go figure. When it does pop up, Cortana offers info about the web page you're looking at, like a phone number, directions, and hours of operation, and will let you make a reservation. And next, we have Windows Hello. That's going to be one of the new ways to sign in, and it's going to be a lot more secure than just using a password that somebody else can hack. It gives you the opportunity to use your webcam or your fingerprint reader on your computer to sign in. But it doesn't use just any old camera on any device. They require a special camera that is a 3D infrared camera. So it can read the contours on your face and make sure that you're not wearing a mask or holding up a photo. There are only a few notebooks out from Asus, HP, and Dell that have the right camera at this point in time, but they will be coming out over the course of time. And you can also go out and purchase, if you need to, I believe it's called an F200 camera from Intel that you can add to your computer to be able to utilize that technology. And these use the FIDO standard, which stands for Fast Identity Online, so that it acts as a virtual password, and it'll store that so that you can access various different web pages and things to that effect without having to type in a password anymore. Virtual desktops, that's another exciting aspect coming up. You know, with Windows 8, Microsoft tried to convert the world over to tablets and other smaller devices, and they came to find out that way too many of their business customers have people in their departments that are running with a pair of 24-inch monitors, and they have them fully populated, and they just weren't very happy about the idea of switching over to an 8-inch screen. So now they've kind of gone the opposite way, and they've added multiple desktops where you can have different applications open on different desktops at the same time. And you can combine things that might go together, and you can flip back and forth so that your whole desktop isn't taken up by one set of icons. And that's going to be pretty special. And Continuum is also another one of the new items in Windows 10. That's helping Windows 10 integrate between laptops, desktops, tablets, smartphones, and anything that has a keyboard. And basically how it works is if you have the keyboard attached, it will function like a desktop. It'll have a start menu, start screen, a taskbar, and everything that you're used to on a desktop. But if you remove the keyboard, then it'll ask you if you want to switch into tablet mode. And if you say yes, then you will be presented with more of a tablet-like experience, like you're used to with Windows 8. Well, the command prompt has gotten a makeover as well. For those of us that use the command prompt a lot, we're going to like this. You can resize the command prompt window, and the text will wrap if you resize the window, and you can use actually copy and paste commands in the command prompt as well. That's going to make life a lot easier. There are also even registry settings you can change to make it to provide the arrow interface if you'd like to see through windows. But that's just for people that like to play around. See, Windows Store apps on the desktop. Oh, the apps now, where in Windows 8 the apps were full screen, you really didn't have much opportunity to work with them, to have multiple windows open at one time, or to minimize them or resize them. In Windows 10, they've gone the opposite way with that as well. They've made them up. All the apps work on the desktop. They have minimized and maximized windows. You can drag them around the screen. You could even have multiple ones open on the screen at the same time. And the apps are universal apps, so they'll look the same and act the same on a computer, a tablet, a phone, or even an Xbox. And with Windows 10, they have free Office viewers. They claim that the versions of Office that are downloadable from the App Store are limited use versions, but for the most part, unless you have an Office 365 subscription, you're only going to be able to use these to read your Office created documents. But if you do have Office 365, then these are going to be free, and you can put your credentials in there, and you'll be able to edit documents. But even the mobile versions of these that are free from the download store, they do have limited functionality in that, for instance, Excel will not be able to utilize macros and things like that. In that case, you would want the full version of Office installed on your computer.
All right, so since we kind of went over the major topics of the new and fun things that you get to see, we're kind of reminding you that we're just showing you the benefits of upgrading your small business to Windows 10. And it's time for Kevin to give us a nice little tour of Windows 10. So let's get to the desktop here. And we'll let Kevin show us all the fun things that we can do on Windows 10, kind of going over some things that he talked about and some other things that, might just pop up during the segment. And just remember, if you have any questions, just go ahead and ask us or, email us.
Okay, well, as promised, this is the new desktop, and they have these new holographic-looking backgrounds. The Start menu, naturally, is probably the first thing every person wants to see. It's what everybody's been begging for to come back. It has your power button here. You can shut down and restart. It has access to the control panel. Actually, on Windows 10, they have a settings app that contains a lot of the settings, so it's going to look different. You can go into one, and you'll see each one is going to have settings along the left-hand side that you can choose various different you want to change. And you're familiar with a lot of the settings, but getting to them is going to look a little different. Also, you have your All Apps menu like you're used to having in Windows 7. That's got a lot of the items that you're used to seeing. What else? Your most used applications are going to show up on top, and those are handy. Another one of the things that I like to see is the flyout menus and the jump lists that show you things that you have recently opened or commonly opened. For instance, under I must not have opened any documents on that yet. Okay, so we also have the tiles on the side, and those are all resizable, and the menu itself is resizable, as I mentioned. You can make it larger, wider. You can play and explore. You have your various different icons. You can add them or pin them to the start, take them off of there. You can resize them, make them bigger. And a lot of the ones that you put on here, they will update in the background automatically. And that shows up. Let's see, what did we just take off? We just took
OneNote. There you go, Outlook. There you go.
And if you want to, you can put icons back in there. You can move them around. If you want this one down here and this one up there, you can. You can create groups to put each one of your icons in. You can make them smaller. And that is a lot of what you're going to see in terms of the Start menu. The taskbar also got a bit of a makeover. You've got Cortana down here, first thing everybody's going to see, and she is your all-in-one search. You can ask her something like, what's the forecast for next week, and he can tell you that. You could ask her how to get from one place to another. You know, how far is it from Chicago to New York? You know, what's the traffic like on the way home? She'll get to know your route and your location, and she'll be able to tell you if it's a good idea to take a different road on the way home. You can speak to her. A lot of people are used to Siri and things along that line, so if you have a microphone, you can talk to your computer and say, hey, Cortana, and she will begin listening, and you can just speak to her and ask questions or give orders, and she will be your digital assistant. Microsoft Edge is also the new web browser that people are going to get used to seeing. We might not want to close that one. Okay, these are some of the toolbars that you see on here. If we go to MSN, for instance, one of the cool things that you will see on here is the ability. Oh gosh, had to go and choose a video, didn't I? Okay, everything's a video. Okay, if you find information that you'd like to point out to a friend, you can scroll down. You can take notes on a web page. You can choose like the highlighter or just the circle icon. You can circle a paragraph, and you can share that with a friend. You can email it to somebody, and it will send that web page with that particular area marked or documented to your friend. That's pretty handy. Another item is the reading view. I think that's going to come in. I have to minimize that. And that doesn't seem to be working today, so that's going to be great. Let's see if we go to a different website, if it'll. For some reason, Reading View doesn't work today for me. So I hope you'll bear with me. I just installed this morning. Usually Microsoft gives us the opportunity to try these out for a couple of months before the general public release, and we got it the same day as everybody else this time. And the hub is another item that's going to be on there. And that has your favorites and your reading list and your history and your downloads all in one place. That's going to be pretty helpful. And for other people, if you need to go to websites that have ActiveX controls or require custom plugins or add-ins and things along that lines, they also have Internet Explorer 11 for more of your your older legacy websites. And you may notice, depending on how you have things set up in your company, that a different browser will open depending on what link you open. So Windows 10 is going to be pretty smart that way. Let's see, what are some of the other things we promised to show you? The taskbar, oh, the virtual desktops. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to show this quite on the screen. But if we open Word and Notepad, and Excel, I can have multiple different things floating around the screen. How about one more? How about PowerPoint too? And one of the things you can do is, if you're taking up too many spaces on your desktop with various different things, you can snap them into each corner of the screen. And you can have, in the desktop version, you can have as many as 4 different things going, and when you start snapping things into the corners, it will start asking you, it'll be smart enough to know that you're snapping, and it'll say, what things do you want on the other portions of the screen? And you can select them. I think in the tablets and smartphones, you're only going to be able to get 2 apps on the screen, but in the desktop, you can get as many as 4. If you can work in an area that size. Alternatively, if you know that you want to work with, say, your text documents in a different location, you can create another desktop. I've already got one set up here. And in the various different desktops, if you click on desktop 1, it'll show you which items are open in that window. If you click on desktop 2, it'll show you the ones that are open in that window. And you can move items from one place to a different desktop.
Probably have time for just one more thing, if there's anything else you'd like to show. If not, we could open it for questions and do our drawing. Is there anything else you wanted to show us?
Well, the Action Center is another one of the items that's going to be kind of cool. A lot of people on smartphones and tablets are used to being able to pull down from the top and see notifications and have access to settings. And that's kind of similar to what we have going on here. That if you have new mail, if you have things that the computer wants to tell you, if you want to turn your Bluetooth on and off, if you want to connect to a VPN or a wireless or turn your computer into airplane mode, you can change the brightness. You can get access to all settings once again. So that is, they've created it to look an awful lot like that is on smartphones and tablets. And we do also have, in addition to that settings application, we do still have access to the old-fashioned control panel for people that are used to working in there. But a lot of those settings are more easily accessible from the settings menu.
Awesome. All right, let's head back to the presentation really quickly. All right, so I just want to thank you guys for attending our Windows 10 webinar. I hope that we could give you at least enough information to get things started for you guys, so a little bit more comfortable. I know when I was watching, there are a lot of things that look similar to 7, but with like an 8 feel, so I'm kind of excited about that too. And I'm going to have Kevin draw for the winner. Let me add just one more name I saw come in a little bit ago. And then once we announce it, I'll get your information. All right, Kevin, who is going to be the winner of our $50 Visa gift card?
It looks like Barb Anderson.
Barb Anderson. So we'll get, I know I have your email address, so we will get in touch. So congratulations to Barb on attending and winning the $50. If not, a little blurb about GoToWebinar. It was pretty easy to set. Any questions? Down below there is a handout with our PowerPoint if you'd like to have that. I will also send it out too if anyone else wants to remember kind of what we talked about. Do you have anything else, Kevin, that you want to?
No, I'm just really excited that, Windows 8, I can't say I really ever got overly excited about, but Windows 10, I'm truly wound up about this one. I want to see it in use and in practice, and I want to put it on my computer. So I hope everybody else feels the same.
Exactly. So if you have any questions, just let us know. Even give us feedback once you download it and get it going, how much you like it. I know I'm patiently waiting to get mine downloaded on my work computer too. So, all right, thanks everyone. We will keep you updated on future webinars. So yeah, have a great rest of the day. It looks pretty nice out, and we'll see you next time.